Are you listening?
Good morning. To Baltimore just in time. Hell yeah, look at you. Pro
That's me. That's me. Always sweeping at the last minute. My enemies find that on Commander Night where they got me killed, and then it's like I top deck just that one thing just in time.
It's like me and board wipes.
Yes, indeed. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So, how are you guys doing today? Today's a good morning, and I want to know how good of a morning it is. Hillbilly, how are you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. Had some great games on Arena this morning.
Oh, yeah. How's Meaningful doing this morning?
He fell back asleep.
Probably.
How are you doing?
How are you doing this morning, Tabal?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
I know it's like 8 in the morning for you, so I appreciate you being here.
No problem. Actually, it's 9. It's 9 o'clock, but it's still me rolling out of bed. So, you know.
I'm back.
Hey, there he is.
There you go. I was asking how you're doing.
I'm doing good. I'm sorry I got called.
Oh, you got called. A mission. You got an adventure awaiting. You know, you're going to be a Blues Brothers one day.
Only if Hillbilly joins me.
I'm on a mission from God. How you doing, Dark Master?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I recently just hit the 1K mark. That's why I got that purple hair.
Purple hair. It doesn't look bad.
Doesn't look bad.
Yeah. Look at you guys being awesome. Hope you got your coffee and libations. Well, I knew
Morning, James.
TCG dude did get back with me. He might be joining us. All right. Let's see. I want to officially welcome everybody here to Superfast Tortoise, which is proudly sponsored by cardsutopia.com, where you can get sweet Magic Gathering dice bags. Yes. When you can get Lionel Vine dice bags, but for $75 because the sale is over for Valentine's Day. But you can get sweet lapel pins and you can get customized paintings for your awesome pleasure. Hang them on your wall, hang them in your office, hang them in the living room. That is pretty cool. So check
Billy's
out.
trying to show his bag, but
Give me a second. Check out cardsutopia.com. There's Billy's bag. Woo woo. Yeah.
Nice.
Then on top of the shill stuff, Red Cub Leather wanted to share this video with you guys. Boom. The more I watch it, the more dark I realize how that video is. First you're like, ooh, he's excited or he's getting overwhelmed by all this leather. Then you're starting to realize that scene is he thinks a little child's getting beaten up and torn to bits through a machine. So he's seeing his friends become leather. I'm like, what? I thought it was funny. But happy times. Like that. Oh, hey, we got a dude here. What's up, TCG dude? It's like I'm setting up still. I'm muted. Like mic's not working. I don't know. But
Superfast Taurus.
What's up?
They have the Ninja Turtles in Fortnite right now. You should come and play. Something with you. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Smash 'em Up one?
No, Fortnite.
Fortnite. It's a shooter game.
Dude, I haven't played Fortnite in over years. Like
they have Shredder in there right now. They have the
Turtles
weapons. Like
you can be Peter Griffin, bro.
Fucking beating the crap out of turtles.
Yeah.
Then Batman showing up.
All right. So really quick, let's say hi to people in chat. We got Investable Collectibles, part of the sponsorship of Red Cub Leathers. Hello, Cowabunga, dude. We got James Willis. What's up, morning coffee
Yo,
people?
James.
Woo. Let's see. Longer from drop today, but the audio sucked. Sorry, you're good. No. Yeah, so I was watching it and the audio didn't work. You might just have to re-upload it. Yeah. Pretty good video. Like, he showed some of their cool stuff. It's like that little short video was to showcase some of the new product they have. But like, he did a longer video. Yeah, so what I would do is just go over and voice over that video. Woo! Hope the energy's with you guys today. Hope you guys got your coffee or your favorite libation. I mean, Hillbilly better have his coffee.
I get water today.
Or at least an energy drink.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a cool mug there you got there, Tabal.
Thank you. It's all Mad Saxon all the way around here.
Woo! Mad Saxon, Mad Saxon. For those who don't know, Mad Saxon is also Tabal. Dun dun dun. Disguise averted.
Yep.
You know the difference between Mad Saxon and Tabal is Mad Saxon doesn't have glasses on, but Tabal does.
That's it. Mad
like
Saxon's the
Clark Kent.
times when I'm ready to cut my own arm off to beat you to death with it.
All he has to do is become Clark Kent.
Right? And I got that reference. That's a Quan Chi reference.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
That's right. Mortal Kombat, one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm.
James Rossi gave away his secret identity. Right. Right. All right. Okay. So, woo, man, what a lively group we have here today. I'm so excited because we're like, the topic seems repetitive, but I actually have a different direction with this topic because we're always trying to build a positive community here, right? And if you read the descriptor, you'd be like, damn, this dude is breaking into socialism a little harder than regular. And which is crazy because when I was in high school, I wanted to get into socialism. And the more I do this YouTube podcast, the more I find myself learning socialism in like a small place or local socialism with a personality kind of thing. It's crazy the learning curve I'm going through. Whew, but also, I try not to cover news I do not know what to cover or how to cover. I try to cover news or try to cover subjects that I am pretty good familiar with or have personal experience with because I don't want to come off as ignorant. And if I know it, most times other people know it or have different views or other perspectives that make it shine brighter. So that's why for today, I'm glad we got 6 people here. We got Hillbilly, Mugenful, TCG Dude, Tabal, and Dark Master. And I know between all us nuts, because we're a bunch of mixed nuts, Dan right here, you know, we all have different perspectives because we all have different personalities and different traits, you know. And the best part is, like, you know, being someone with bipolar, and I know some of us here have other mental things going on that give us different perspectives on how to treat people, because that is important to the growth of a community, you know, knowing what kind of people are out there and how to act, how to treat them. That's pretty good. That's pretty in depth. And I don't mean to call out anybody in particular. All right. Except Mad Saxon. That guy. All right.
What about me? I'm here too.
All right. No, so, but Hillbilly.
Yep.
You know it's that time of day.
Ooh,
You know what time of day it is.
It is time for the
card of the day.
This card. This is one of those cards that people don't pay attention to, and I don't know why, because everybody hates enchantment decks, except me. I love enchantment decks, but people hate enchantment decks. They just don't seem to put in the removal they need. And I was looking at this card called Clean Fall, and I'm like, we covered a card kind of like this from before. It's same effect, same mana cost, different name, and this one costs one white pip less.
Nice.
Yeah, Clean Fall costs 2 generic and white. It's a sorcery, arcane. And arcane's just a whole nother mess I have to worry about. But this card simply destroys all enchantments.
Keyword all.
This would wipe out my standard deck pretty much.
Right? This is from the original Kamigawa block. Like with the picture on it, I would wish this kind of card was in Lorwyn, because it might have been a tribal fish or tribal changeling kind of card. That would have been cool with the artwork on it.
Yeah, no, we're going back to Lorwyn, so we could get something like this still.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And cards like these are more powerful than people give them credit for. It's like a lot of people look at it and they're like, oh, it's uncommon, it must not be crazy. But people will run a naturalizer in a deck. Why not run a Clean Fall? Because some decks don't run enchantments at all. So this is strictly a board wipe for some people's decks.
Like mine.
Yeah. All right, now for the picture day, we got 3 pictures for the day. The first picture, Dark Master Gaming wanted to share with us. It's coffee first. That's very true. That's very true. Because like in the mornings, I need coffee to function. Like, believe it or not, this is a weird thing I do, and it is weird. And I understand that. Like at night, I'll take coffee from the day that's been heated up all day. I'll fix it up fix it up at night, and maybe drink a little bit before I go to bed. Then go to bed, and when I wake up, I got cool coffee there, and I'll just start drinking that cool coffee as I have a hot pot either already made that was set up the night before, or make a hot cup of coffee. But so when I get to work, because I go to work right away when I wake up, and I'm like just sipping on coffee until I get hot coffee. It's just I'm a coffee person.
Yeah, coffee.
So always coffee first. The second picture was shared here by Mugen Fool. Boom. Angry, sad, frustrated. Have you tried yelling? It relieves stress, feels good. It's scary to birds. Yelling is like talking, but louder.
I love this one.
Right? This is why coffee is important, people. It helps you get the stress out without yelling.
No birds were harmed in the making of this podcast.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, no birds were harmed. Maybe a little frightened, but not harmed. But be careful. Now you got to watch your cars. Maybe bird poop on the cards now. And one picture I found personally, and I'm like, that's a clever meme. And if anybody gets it, they get it, and it shows your age. That's right.
Okay, clamp it.
That's right.
Yep.
Coffee? You mean starter fluid for the morning impaired. Good morning, y'all. I know it's not always easy to wake up in the morning, but when I saw this, I thought of Hillbilly, and I thought of Beverly Hillbillies, and I'm like, this is perfect. All right.
We know Hillbilly has that hat somewhere in his house.
Yeah, he does. With the moonshine, too.
Hey, Blackie, don't tell everybody.
You're just
Why?
outing
Why?
everybody's secrets this morning.
Right? Spill the secrets. No, I like your picture, Hillbilly. Yeah, I'm talking about the coffee beans behind you. And of course, the Balt's picture is always awesome too. Look at that. He's ready. He's ready to kill everybody in a game of Commander.
Yeah.
See, what people don't know is each skull in the picture of Tibalt's picture is every win he has since he started playing Commander last week.
Oh, just from last week?
Yeah. Have you seen his deck decks or his little deck list he has up? He built some good decks, some fun decks. And
some fun decks, some good decks. They're not optimized all the time or whatever, but I'm lucky to play with a large variety of people, so I don't always have to go hard every time that I play. So,
right,
it's important to have variety.
That's good.
I can't wait until Billy gets up there on his sub, so I might win that Commando deck. And it's
Right?
free play. So I can start playing Commander with y'all.
Commander.
Yeah.
Hey, DeLawson's in chat. Hey, DeLawson. DeLawson.
Oh, 3 a.m. every day.
James Willis, up from the ground came a bubbling brew. That's a real a giveaway from what show that's from the picture of the day. Woo, James.
I remember Weird Al made a parody of the theme song with but he sung it to the lyrics of Money for Nothing.
Right. Yeah, that song was always weird to me, but yes. The way that summer song sounds and what they did for the Beverly Hills Billy. Yeah. Still awesome. Wake up at 3 a.m. every day at work. Oh, poor dude. 3 a.m. Not even the birds wake up that early.
No.
So let's get to the topic. The topic of the day is be the respectful MTG player. But I went a different route than last time because, one, I'm not repeating myself, but two, I'm breaking down. Like I said earlier, you'll see how more of a socialized look that went with this, right?
Okay.
So the descriptor says, be the respectful Magic the Gathering player at your local game store and online. Something people tend to forget or just simply ignore is the act of building rapport. In terms of association, rapport is built when you meet with people. Either good rapport or bad rapport is built. What is rapport? Well, you may be asking. The term rapport means a good, healthy, harmonious friendship. Rapport is a respect thing. Rapport is earned, not given. Rapport is built, not grown. It sounds more complicated than it really is. Building rapport in a local game store is as simple as this. People associate people by four main key factors. One, looks. Does the person look representable and easygoing? Two, actions. Does this person act like a good or shady person? Three, gameplay. How does this person act during the game? Fair, unfair, rude, mean, snobby, or nice? On 4, visual self-respect. Does the person care how others see himself? Do they respect others? Are they a safe personality for random people Are they a safe personality for random people to meet without being offensive? There are other factors to consider about being respectful. Like, for example, how does an individual treat and represent themselves? Sometimes people are heavy introverts trying to open up to a socialized group. There are many deeper things to analyze, and that is where I open the topic. What are ways to be respectful? What are ways to represent yourself? What are ways the show keynotes, maybe how to treat someone, because someone may be a little different than you. That's a little weird, but you want to be nice and respectful. So give respect and always socialize with people in an open, localized game store. Boo boo. And Hillbilly put, good morning, everyone. So you see how I went there? Instead of just doing a basic thing, like a basic coverall kind of thing, I wanted to dig deep and maybe how to think about how you act or look in front of people to how other people might look. Because like I said, we're a bunch of nuts. We are like, like one of those Planters peanuts mixed containers. You got cashews, you got the regular nuts, and you got like the brown ones. I can't think of the names of all the different nuts, but there's different kinds of nuts, and they make them in a mix, and that's how we are in a game store. It's how we get along with each other, and respect is a big divide there because some people don't respect each other. Some people are straight up mean. Some people are cliquey, and some people have a hard time opening up. And I'm not telling you to be someone's therapist, but what are good ways to kind of visually, maybe start with that, visually represent a person by looking at them and trying to interact with them, because you play games with strangers. What are good ways to respectfully engage with someone at a game store? And saying money is not
Well,
well,
I'll take this. I'll take this just real
so
quick.
You can't
Billy.
bust into the game store and be like, "Show me the money." I'm
right,
joking,
TCG,
sorry.
dude.
I just got to throw it out there that I identify as a, how you say,
unsafe personality. So subscribe to my channel if you want to be offended. Oh man, no, seriously though. I mean, I think that it just goes with basic human behavior. I don't think that Magic should have anything special or unspecial about it. I think that, you know, we have to like understand the environment though, that it can be competitive, right? People are paying to go and do events. Some people are in their minds Ash Ketchum and trying to smash them all right, you know, and win everything and be the best that no one ever was.
Right,
So, you know, how dare you get in the way of their little Ash Ketchum dream?
Right. And even James Willis says, even at larger events where you do not know everyone, I would say when you're playing a stranger, introduce yourself and offer a handshake or a fist bump.
Yep.
Which is my go-to thing, you know, like especially the fist bump, you know, like I'm the kind of person who likes to try to be funny when I'm around people. Like,
elbow bump for me.
well, because one, I'm a big dude, and you know, like like to the smaller people, because like what is it? I'm almost 6 feet tall by 2 inches, and I'm very wide and both side to side and front to back. He's like just got a belly, you know, and I know I can look intimidating, especially when I can have a conversation about, you know, older Magic and stuff like that, you know. So I try to be funny and try to interact in ways. And one of the things I try to be respectful is I try to enlighten someone's mood, because, you know, sometimes when you're playing someone, they just lost a game, and some people, you know, try to figure everything out, and, you know, having a conversation about that is another way to interact, you know, because one of the things I think is important that gets overlooked, because we kind of do it every day, like when we go to the store and stuff, is how we interact with people. Like no matter where you go, you know, there you might find yourself interacting with someone, right? But like no one thinks about the process, and the process is actually as important as doing it, because if you ignore the process, it doesn't go through. You know, if you ignore the process, you might forget something. You know, like being mindful of what you say around someone. You know, TCG might swear up a storm, but look at that.
What are you talking about?
Is it twins or triplets? When are they due?
Oh yeah. Hey, that's something I wouldn't say.
What, heyo?
No, what Hillbilly just said. He's asking if I'm pregnant.
Are you positive?
Right.
Got some sweatpants and a comfy around here for you somewhere.
That's what you look like, a cuddly cub.
Yeah.
This is one that I struggle with, despite being here and despite trying to be a content creator and stuff. I am almost cripplingly shy in real life, or at least that's how I feel on the inside. I don't necessarily portray that and stuff when I go out, so it can be a struggle. Like I said, I go to a couple of different stores pretty much every week. And I know, at least on the inside, I feel like I'm not necessarily the most approachable, so I have to work at it. I have to sit down with my cards. I have to smile. I'm still not necessarily comfortable walking around the store and going up to people and saying, "Hey, you guys want a game? Hey, are you looking for a fourth or whatever?" Generally, what I tend to do is I go in, I'll find a spot, I'll sit down, and I'll just kind of start nesting. You know what I mean? I'll sit down, I'll start shuffling my deck, I'll get my play mat out, and wait for somebody to approach me. So for me, it becomes a struggle to put myself out there. I've been around enough now that people see me, people start to expect things. It's funny how, like you said, people will, after they've seen you a few times, maybe, and even right away, they'll sometimes, form an opinion about you. Sometimes that opinion will change. Sometimes they'll expect you to do certain things or play a certain way or what have you.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where I've found that It becomes anytime I'm in a pod, they expect me to pull the board wipe. In fact, they count on me to do it. Like, can you take care of this? Well, hey guys, you need removal in your decks. Don't count on my removal.
Right.
But I always try to make light of the situation. And one of the ways that helps me to not feel so uncomfortable is usually the first thing I try to do is shift the topic to somebody else by asking them about their decks, either finding something, not being phony about it, but finding something about their play style, their play mat, their sleeves, something to compliment them on, and ask them questions. And it helps lighten up everything for everybody, because if you are genuinely interested, you're going to be invested in what that person is doing. They'll find that they like you because they get to talk about themselves, maybe. And that's kind of a way of opening it up. But it can be very hard. And like you said, we are definitely a mixed bag of nuts here and stuff as far as personality types and everything. And that's a good thing. I really do believe it is, because if you can spend time with people and learn from them, that's the most important thing I think there is and stuff. And that's what Magic is great for. It's the gathering. I say that all the time, but it's true.
What I do is I go into a game store to play a game, and I see somebody sitting there, and I'll just walk up to them, try to strike up a conversation. And then that right there tells me what type of person they are. If they conversate back and how they conversate back, tell me what type of person they are. And then if they come back like with a smart attitude, then I know, you're not a good person and I don't want nothing to do with you. I'll go on to the next person and strike up a conversation with them. And then if they come back to me with a good attitude and everything, then that's the type of person I want to play against. And then I will, do stuff like you're saying, Tillbalt, compliment them on something like their deck sleeves or a play mat or whatever.
And it makes it easier when people reply with a question of their own, or maybe more than just one line or more than just one word. You walk up to somebody, you talk to them, they just say, yes, no, whatever. Maybe they're feeling uncomfortable too, but definitely I'm going to say keep in mind, or I try to keep in mind when I'm doing it, that to be more expansive with my answers, maybe throw in a question for them if they approach me, a big smile and, oh, I don't know, how are you doing? Whatever, just reciprocate, I guess, is the most important thing.
All right.
Yep.
One of the things I want to highlight from what you were saying earlier, though, about how people are getting used to you and people are starting to get to know you. That's part of the important part of building rapport. People are starting to understand you. They're starting to, get a picture of you. Like when they see you, you're the guy who wants to play a game, kind of thing. They're starting to understand who you are. They're getting familiar with you, and that's part of building that rapport. That's building that respect. And that's key. Like, you don't hear people talking about rapport when it comes to like LGS life or when you're talking about Magic the Gathering, but rapport is usually referred for businesses or in jobs. Like, you're building rapport with friends, you're trying to build a rapport with a company so you can get in the door. But really, rapport is a word that doesn't mean anything about business. It means about building a friendship, a relationship, and that's kind of what you're doing with your LGS. Like if you become like kind of like a popular face in your LGS, it means you're building a rapport with your LGS and everything that's involved with it. Because I remember growing up in Magic the Gathering, and I say growing up because there's a lot of socializing I did that I learned from my local game store, and I frequented it a lot and became a well-known person, the person who likes playing Commander, that kind of thing. It really becomes like a second family when you get really deep into the friendship of the LGS. Yeah. And Dawson says, I'm one of the Lord timers in my store. What's a Lord timer?
Old timer, I think is what he's trying to say.
A long timer, maybe. Yeah, the long timer. It makes sense. People know you. There you go. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, Lord, you got
he makes people bow down to him when he comes in the store.
Welcome to the store. Kiss my ring.
You may kiss my ring.
Well, me as a person, I don't go to very many game stores because of my social anxiety.
Right.
But when I have in the past, I was that quiet one that you had to make an effort to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't really intrigue me, I did give those short responses. Yeah, no, maybe.
All right. Well, here's a weird question, but maybe it's a learning curve. How would you want someone to approach you at a game store?
I mean, with respect, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Introduce yourself. That's one of the first steps at a friendship.
Right.
Is introducing yourself. Don't come at me like with an attitude like, "Oh, I'm going to cream your deck. You a piece of." Don't come at me like that. If you do, I'm probably just going to forfeit and walk right out of that store.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That goes back to the point I was making too. When you approach somebody and they have an attitude like that, I have no use for you. I'm going to go play somebody else.
I wait till we're in the game and then I tell you that. I wait till the game's done. No, just kidding. Usually, and actually, that's often one of my lines. Actually, is turning that around the other way. Instead of threatening other people or whatever, I usually ask the other person, like, "Okay, how bad are you going to beat me?" And that also starts the conversation.
And it'll break the ice.
Yeah, exactly. That helps me also judge kind of what they're coming from and stuff like that. So if I put it off on them, like, how bad are you going to beat me? It opens up the conversation, the rule zero conversation of what's in their deck or maybe how they plan on playing. So by kind of flipping that and getting ahead of it, though most people won't come up and say, I'm going to crush you or whatever, but I've had a couple of people that have done that. Like, oh, I've got this deck that I really want, and it's really tough. And like, okay, well, sit down, we'll play, we'll see how it goes. But that is can be a bad thing when you approach somebody that aggressively.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, it's good to know like a kind of a baseline because you never know how everybody is. You don't know what they're going through. God knows they could have been having a bad day and they came to the store to relax and some of those bad emotions they had. So sometimes how you approach someone and whatnot will make a difference. And look, being bipolar, I have triggers, right? I have triggers that can set me off, right? But it's not your guys' responsibility to know my triggers. It's mine. And some people act like it's vice versa. Like, well, I have all these triggers. You better watch out. But the respectful thing is to treat people nicely and try to avoid certain triggers just because you never know if someone's like that. That's why the mixed nuts thing works together when you're like, well, we're all mixed. We don't know what someone's going through because, one day Tabalt might just snap your head off because you called him a bearded bald man. I'm kidding.
How dare you?
I know. How dare you?
Some people think bald is sexy.
Hey, well,
there you go. Thank you. Solar powered.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, how's TCG doing down there?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. I'm over here browsing how to make QR codes. And of course, everybody loves free, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, what program can I use that's
there's
not going
to, there's a website out there. I can't remember the name of it, but all I ask you is to create an account with Microsoft and you can get 2 free QR codes.
Oh, that's what's up. Maybe I'll have to try that one. Yeah, dude, I did a 4-hour stream of Diablo 2 this morning, so I'm a little bushed.
Yeah.
I jumped into that stream.
Is that baked beans?
Thank you, Dark Master.
Oh, no problem.
Is that baked beans pushed? Like, are you like bushed because you ate Bush's baked beans?
I mean, I'd probably be just as tired if I ate a whole can of it.
Beans. The more you eat, the more you toot.
So TCG dude, you're one who goes to the store frequently, compared to like most of us actually. When you can, especially when weather's permitting.
Right.
What kind of rapport do you have with your local game store that you go to? I know you go to a couple, but there's got to be one you go to more often.
Yeah, it's about even. It's about 50-50. It would have been Bosco's mainly. Not to throw the name out there specifically, but they deserve the love. They've been around since the 80s and up in this, cold place. Yeah, it's hard to get along sometimes. But anyways, well, people definitely know me as the burn guy. Oh man, there goes Alex playing his burn deck. And as soon as turn 1, play with fire their creature. Turn 2, lightning strike their next creature. Turn 3, they have the look in their eye like, am I just gonna concede right now? But it's always a fun time. I'm not really a jerk about it. I had one instance where there was like basically a stack effect, and I'll give the guy credit to where he was probably in the right, but it was a simple case of I read the card and then I said so in response I cast, but in his mind he thought I said and then pass priority. And so, he's like, yeah, well, according to the stack, your spell isn't going to resolve the way you want it to, kind of thing. And I got a little salty about it. But, and so it was a little awkward, like low key after the game. But then I quickly reeled it in and like, fixed it socially and started like talking about Magic in general and, latest movies coming out until the next pairings came up for the rounds. So, sometimes you just got to be self-aware, I guess, right? You don't want to be too caught up in the winning mode to like forget that you're in front of a real life person that is there just trying to have fun too. So.
Real life people.
What's that?
So here's a question for you, TC dude.
What's up?
At your stores, and this can be for Debalt too, because he goes to stores too. What's the trading like at your stores? Like, are people actually pulling out binders and looking at cards to trade?
Yeah, if there was 5 people in the store, 4 of them are looking to trade. Usually. So, and me personally, I haven't traded with anybody because I'm gonna be honest with you, like up until recently, I hadn't gone to the LGS that frequently, and the first few times I did, I just always kind of felt paranoid. I always heard horror stories of people getting their cards stolen, their backpack stolen, a deck swiped off the table or something, and I just did not want to be in that position at all. So I really, I always limited what I brought to the LGS. But since having the epiphany that not everybody out there is trying to steal my cards, I'm bringing a trade binder along with my draft box to the LGS frequently.
For me, in the stores that I go to, it's not that prevalent these days. It used to be everybody, maybe even like 50% of the folks were there to trade. Nowadays, out of maybe say for every 10 people there's maybe 1 or 2 that bring trade binders, but they are generally maybe as many as 3, but they're generally well known. And since I've gone to them a few times, or well, all the time, the same few people come in with their trade binders and so on. Of course, the stores here are sensitive to trading in the store and stuff like that, or actually exchange of money in the store. But the trading seems to have gone down, or I'm not hanging in those circles. Maybe that's it too. But from what I've seen, though, I know lots of people approach me. I've almost never traded cards. But that's just because it was me. That was just my mindset or whatever. I buy them and I hoard them all. All the cards belong to me. So I hoard them all. And at this point, I'm selling them. So it doesn't, it's what I mean. So I'm not necessarily, I want to trade them for cash. That's what I want to trade my cards for.
Right.
So that's another thing too, though, that gives you an opportunity to maybe be social with folks, because a lot of times people will come up to me and ask if I have my trade binder or whatever, if I have anything with. Of course I don't, but I will ask to see their stuff. I'm not going to waste their time and tell them that I'm going to buy something when I get, and I'm not. But I will ask to see their binders and stuff just to see what they have available, because maybe later on I will need something or whatever. So that's it.
Right.
That's a good point, Tybalt. It's a good icebreaker having a trade binder, just like having a pack of gum. You know what I'm saying? If I could take the baton before somebody else grabs it from me, just real quick, passing it off in a question form. So not so much trading in the LGS, but the last time I actually traded with somebody, it got a little contentious, and it was somebody that, like, a friend of mine, and basically, long story short, he tried nickel and diming over some cards using TCG Player as a reference, and it felt really scummy to have him be like, no, I really need to buff up that 5 cents, bro, or do you have something else, and make me really dig out the, and take time. It's like, bro, like, I'll pull 2 quarters out and just pay the difference. Like, has anybody here ever had anybody be that petty in a trade?
Yes.
Not more than once. Not more than one time. Because I'm never going to deal with them again.
So a long time ago, I've dealt with people that petty where like I'd pay out the difference in quarters and $1. But then I started a movement called under trading, where I will make a trade closest to the definition, and if I was under like 50 cents or maybe a $1.50, I would just let it slide because I wanted the card and I wanted the report, And I brought that trade here with Iowa to me, and people didn't mind it. They actually liked it. Then I started doing this thing when I had money cards. I trade for their penny stocks because you can get a lot of penny stock, more than you can get for a big card than you can get their expensive cards. Because that's when people get more picky, when they're trying to get like $10 versus $12 kind of thing. But if you take $10, sometimes you can walk out with more money in penny stock from other players than you get from a regular card, because they don't care about the penny stock. They're like, this is just card. You can throw this in, whatever. If you're clearing out the binder of the trash and no one else is trading for it, but cards you want to play with in a decker or a cube or something, people like it when you clear out their binder of their cheap cards, leaving their big cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, take my 100 Lana War Elves, please.
Right. All right. Brody. Brody, some Skulldugger in the background. Very nice.
A lot of people in the chat.
He says, hi, James, and all respectable MTG players and streamers. Hell yeah. Oh, Daniel Perry. What's up? My policy is if I'm trading a card all away, I don't need it for anything or worth under $5. It's heavily discontinued. Yeah, that's a thought about having it. Like, there's this one time back in the day when it came to trading. It came to trading where we were like, the internet was like not on everybody's phone at the time, right?
Right.
And we had a friend who knew how to trade and knew the prices. Well, every time we'd be doing trades, me and like 10 other people would ask this one dude, do you know what the price of this card is? Do you know what the price of this card is? And he got really sick and tired of that. And so he said, and one thing that stuck with me ever since, it says, the true value of a card is how much you want it and what you're willing to trade for it. Mm-hmm. And so I, like, as much as I keep an eye on the value of cards, I always put that word, that phrase in my head, like how much I'm willing to lose on the value of this card for the cards I want, or how much am I willing to give. Some cards I'm a little more stickly on. Some cards I'm a little more loose on, because in individual terms, one $10 rare could be worth 5 to 6 little penny stocks, dollar stocks, cards, Yep.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Brody says, I find it strange when people who are trying to sell MTG cards ask for the same price as stores are selling it for, especially when growing up in Magic. In the community I was in Ogden in Utah, we actually had this mindset that if we paid cash for it for a trade, we paid less than the value because it wasn't fair to the store. And then if we traded for value, and give or take. Some people like to trade up, some people like to trade down. Like some people love to trade up. Like if I can trade $1 card for $1.50 card, I'm going to do that. I think one of the key things I learned was stroking people's egos. If I let them get away with a deal in a trade, but really I got the card I wanted, it was worth the trade. You know?
And they'll think better about you. You'll have a better rapport with them, and they'll come
Right.
back and see you next time.
Oh yeah, like there's one time I had this probably like the greatest trade of my life where I walked out like crazy because this kid, and he wasn't a kid, he was like 20 years old, and I was just like maybe 4 or 5 years older than him. He was excited that me and him one day just started trading cards without the knowledge of price. We were trading left to right for cards we wanted, and we probably both walked out like kings there because I gave him like a bulk amount of cards, like I told him, like penny stocks and stuff. And he gave me some valuable cards at the time. He's like, I just love the fact that we can trade and not worry about price, but get cards we wanted. He filled up his trade binder with a lot of my bulk, but I got a few good cards, but we just traded left and right. It was insane, But coming to this point, Hillbilly, what you thinking?
Nope.
What are you thinking? I can tell you're thinking.
Yeah, I think it's almost time for the.
Oh wow! Bum 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 bum. I was actually asking your thought, but here we go.
The deck of the day is brought to you by Red Cub Leather. High quality leather deck boxes and merchandise. Customizable options are available. The link is in the description box below.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change.
Woo-wee! Let me get back to StreamYard really quick. There we go. Let me blow this up so you can see this. There's actually a deck of the day set aside. We have Aminatou, the Fate Shifter. This is a deck I'd love to build around one day. She costs a white, blue, black, legendary planeswalker Aminatou. Her +1 ability is to draw a card, then you put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1, you can exile a target artifact, or you can exile another target permanent you own, then return to the battlefield under your control. Which is funny because if you like steal someone's creature for a turn, then use this ability, you permanently own that permanent now. All right, -6, you choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminatou, the shapeshifter, and I can't read that. Oh, Fate Shifter controlled by the next player. So basically, you take everybody's board except Aminatou and you shift all the cards left or right. So everybody gets everybody else as a permanent. Yeah, that's pretty solid.
It's a freaking awesome ability.
Nice.
Right? Especially if your opponent has like a indestructible board, you board wipe, and you cast that ability so you get control of the creatures.
Yes, you take their sliver deck and you give the guy to your other side, nothing, the 4 mana rocks that you've got playing Aminatou.
Right. Hell yeah. All right, let's see what artifacts are in this deck. You got Altar the Brood. That's just a good mill card. You got Arcane Signet. You got Azorius Signet, Demir Signet, Felwar Stone, Mind Stone. You got Misleading Signpost. Nice. You got Orzhov Signet. You got Panharmonicon. Woohoo. Soul Ring, Talisman of Dominance. You got Talisman of Hierarchy, Talisman of Progress, and Wishclaw Talisman. Nice. Now for the creatures in this deck, and there's a few other creatures in this deck, I think. But no, they actually have this divided out. That's why I like this deck. You got Aether Channeler for a bounce spell, or you can create a token, but people are going to use it to bounce a spell or draw a card. You got Agent Treachery, which is part of the cool ability of stealing things. You got a Chaomancer, which is important when you get to the sorceries. You got Belfal Strix, Cloud Blazer, Corpse Knight, which is an interesting card. Displacer Kitten, which is important for another sorcery in the deck. Another combo, with Archaeomancer. Atari Resurrected, Felidar Guardian. Another combo piece. You can tell where this card's going. Grey Merchant Asphodel. You got Lauren the Third Path. You got Massacre Worm. Ouch. Mole Drifter, which should be in the draw section. You got Peregrine Drake, another combo card. You got Ravenous Chupacabra. Resto Angel. Man, this deck is all comboing out. Solemn Simulacrum. Yeah, Soul Herder. Ooh, that's a good card for this deck. Spark Double. Spirited Companion. Sun Titan. Thassa Deep Dwelling. Wall of Omens. And Urion, the Sky Nomad. Now, for some enchantments, you got Oath of Teferi, which is pretty good for this deck, actually. You got Reality Acid, which is interesting. You got Ristic Study, because, we all need one of those. You got Teleportation Circle. Now, for instance, we got an offer you can't refuse. Good counter spell. You got Anguish and Making for removal. Arcane Denial, another counter spell. Brainstorm, counter spell. Curtains Call. Cyclonic Rift. Dovin's Veto. Eerie Interlude, which protects your creatures. Ephemerate, Ghostly Flicker, Mystical Tutor, Path to Exile, Return to Dust, Swords of Plowshares, Teferi's Protection, and Void Rend. Now, you can see this deck is the stall and build your board up. Now, let's look for the sorcery, because the lands are pretty basic, so we don't need to go through that. You got Ponder, Supreme Verdict, Temporal Mastery, which is important. Woo-woo. Yeah. You got Terminus, Toxic Deluge, and Treasure Cruise. Hell yeah. I actually wonder why they run Temporal Mastery when a non-exiling board wipe would be so much better in this deck. With all the blink and abilities to bring it back to your hand. Woohoo. But Supreme Verdict, that will be taken back all the time. This deck, that Supreme Verdict is going to push a lot of work in this deck. This is a pretty strong deck for control build. It has an aggro-ness to it, but it's definitely a stall deck. This deck will cost you around $446.78, and it has like a salt summary score of 42.99. Sounds like a price. All right. And that, my friends, has been the deck of the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. I run Amanat too, but I have half as many creatures and twice as many enchantments.
And I actually have that Planeswalker, and you can't see it.
Yeah, it's called invisible on you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't see this. Can't touch this.
Yeah. Ooh, got Amanatu. I got a couple Amanatus. That's why I'm like itching to build a deck. I might just build an Atraxa deck again, because I got all the cards for a secondary Atraxa deck, even the Atraxa, and just build with turtles. I don't know. Amanatu might be fun.
It might be because I woke up early today, but I just realized Hillbilly has a green screen.
Yeah. He's had that on for a chunk of the show.
Yeah, I just didn't realize it until just now.
Yeah, Daniel Perry says, I did a shop owner get somewhat irked because I didn't care about the stuff I was trading in the shop. Well, that's his issue, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
like his
if it was valuable or worth money or stuff he wanted, why be irked?
Actually,
as long as the cards are in good condition.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's as long as the cards are in good condition, you're good.
Actually, I do have a green screen, but I don't have it up right now. This is done through StreamYards.
Oh,
yep.
That's interesting. It just looks like it's done by through green screen, No,
it's pretty much the same thing, but you can do it without the green screen. I could do it too. I've done it before.
Oh.
I like my setup. I want people to get familiar with my setup. I mean,
Tortoise be like, look what I can do.
Look what I can do. I get to show off the stuff, like the cool little mug. I'm actually gonna reorganize this again because I wanted to show off my Transformers up there. But like having my Ninja Turtles.
There we go.
My Nintendo.
There you go.
There we go.
Hold on a second. All right. So now, is there anything anybody wants to add to the conversation that they might be thinking or want to cover, or even change the subject a little if you want?
I'm playing with the backgrounds.
What I'm going to say is definitely try to be self-aware. You may not be able to control the people that you're going to come in contact with or meet,
right?
But if you try to stay self-aware and be vigilant, not just just worrying about what they're doing, think about yourself first and approach people the way you would want to be approached. I think that's a good way to start.
I got one thing I want to add.
What's up?
And it could be a lead to a further topic, but introvert players versus extrovert players and how you should treat the introvert players a little nicer.
Well,
yeah.
So on that note of what you're talking about, that's kind of what the topic is about, because you don't know who's an introvert, you don't know who's an extrovert. Some people are easy to tell, some people are harder to tell, and some people have some some mental issue that we cannot foresee.
Yeah,
So,
see.
trying to build the respect barrier from the get-go, that's what you want. Because you need time to learn a person. You know what I'm saying? You need time to learn a person. That's how you build rapport. And with building the rapport, that kind of lets you know. Because like one thing you can learn, not saying you don't know, but one thing you can learn, especially if you're new at it, who's probably frequenting the store more, through that one person, you can start getting to know more people through that one person and how they interact with other people, how they talk about other people. And that can open gateways on how to treat other people, maybe what kind of personality, how loose you can get with yourself, like when it comes to being open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only
so
caveat I would add to that is be careful and make your own opinion also, though. Take in that
Correct.
information of what somebody says about somebody else,
Mhm.
but also wait until you see how you interact with them, because maybe your personality will mesh better with that person than maybe somebody else. Like, I think it's okay to warn people, like, so and so is an aggressive player, so and so somebody's like that,
Mhm.
but don't come at that person when you meet them for the first time hard because you think they're going to be that way.
Right,
Maybe
right.
your personalities are going to mesh differently. So take in all that information that people give you, but make your own opinions based on what you've been informed with.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
because you're trying to learn and you're trying to be respectful too at it. Because not everybody's the same. One thing I would like to address is don't judge people based on clicks. Some people are in stores are clicky.
Yeah.
Try to be friends. Try to be that multiple click person who tries to befriend people from different clicks, because there's different strengths and skill sets between clicks that you can actually improve from. So then the more you are friends with different kinds of people, the more you open up to being more accepted by everybody, in a way to say that. But like, even strangers will learn to approach you, because like there's times I was in the store I frequented growing up in the Magic community. Sometimes people would ask me questions, or a store owner or refer someone to me about a certain product, because I was into that product or something like that. You can become just as a valuable asset to a store, not just because how connected you are. That's pretty good. And Hillbilly,
Yep.
you all right over there? You're just quiet.
Yep. And just listening.
All right. Like, what's one way, Hillbilly, that you'd like to be approached if you were at a game store?
Well, way I'd want somebody to approach me is, be respectful. That's number one thing. I know everybody's here saying approach me with respect. Yeah, you got to approach everybody with respect. And I'd want somebody to come up to me, approach me with respect, and I want not come off like they're going to beat me down like I'm nothing, or talk or even talk to me like that.
Right.
And that's what I like for would expect for somebody to do. And I think they should do and I think this should go towards any player that's at a LGS wanting to play Magic. Go up to them with respect. Don't go up to them and act like you're going to beat them down to learn nothing. I mean, just go in there, have attitude like, well, I'm here to play, I'm here to win. But if I don't win, oh well, I still get something out of it. I might be able to get a friendship out of it.
Oh yeah.
Might be able to learn what mistakes I've made. I might be able to learn what cards I need to make my deck better. And use it as a learning experience. As long as you can also use it as making friends.
Oh, for sure. And that's all about building rapport, because rapport goes a long way, and it's infectious too when you have a positive rapport. Because if like you meet someone who's part of the store area group and you're new to the store, and you two start talking and you start hitting it off as good friends, other people start seeing that, want to get involved with it. And the store owner is the person you should really think about when it comes to this, because if you build a good rapport in his or her store, who owns the store, the more accepting they are of you, the more times they'll be like, hey, this guy over here is looking for a game. This person over here is looking for a game. If you're looking for a game, go play with that guy. They really try to engage people because good rapport not only is good for you, but it's good for the store. And the more people that attend the store, for the store owner makes profit because if you want a drink or something, you can go to the store owner, buy a 50-cent to $1 soda, or maybe some snacks, or even buy some product or some cards. How you treat people and how well people feel in your store will show on the product line. Like one of the biggest things about the store I grew up in was Game Grid in North Ogden, Utah, was he cared about how people were treated in the store. He cared about how he treated people. The owner of the store cared about how he treated people, but he cared about how respected and well people felt, because the more comfortable someone was with a store, not only would spend money on his store, but the more time they spend in the store gave people time for them to feel comfortable with other players, spend time at the store, spend a whole day at the store, and throughout the day, spend money at a store. He did it one for respect. The money was really just like a bonus, because when someone buys like $10 worth of sodas, it's not going to go a long way, but it's still people spending at the store having a good time because that person has a good rapport at the store. They go to their friends who haven't been to the store, talk them up how great of a time they had at the store, invite them over to the store. Well, you just grew the MTG community a little bit more, which is something we're sorely lacking, is the growth of MTG community. Because Wizards ain't supporting the stores as good as they should be. Like, they're supporting them, but not in the ways they should be. And that's why I think, and I told you this topic would be different. That's why I think it's important to build rapport in a store, because you need the store to be the face of Wizards of the Coast again.
Well, let me tell you a little quick story about my ODS.
Mm-hmm.
I went in there one day trying to sell a card. Well, try to sell 2 cards. They didn't want to give, and they just didn't want to give me the money I wanted for it. So I'm like, okay. They did not mention to me that they had store credit.
Ah.
That I could use a card, sell them a card, for store credit. So then I go back later with the same card, one of the cards this time. And then it was a different person, and they told me, they said, yeah, you can get more. And they told me how it worked. They said, you can get up to 40% store credit for this card, more than you would get for the cash.
Right.
So when they told me that made me feel better to make me want to come back to that store more.
Right. That makes sense, man. You know what? Some stores, stores have to make a profit when they buy cards, and they have to be able to turn the card around, and the store credit thing always helps out. That's why I love the area where I sell cards to. When I get to sell cards, is like, the store credit is banging. Like I remember when I got my controller, I got Turok 2 Seeds of Evil and a couple other cards off the trades. It was pretty good. It worked out. So we are turning to the shill section, but before we're going to skip the movers and shakers today because what time it is. But it's okay. We're over time a little. But we're going to get to the shill section. So we are going to start with boom.
Hey! All right. I picked up a sub today, and I am at 368 subs. Getting closer and closer to 400. Once I get to 400, there will be a giveaway.
Right.
Kick off a giveaway. And this afternoon, I'm going to try to do a Commander game. But if it does not kick off, there will be a stream at 3:00.
Right.
If the Commander game doesn't kick off, and it will be Arena. And let's get those subs and get that 400 so we can do a giveaway. That's all I have to share.
All right. Now let's go to Mugenful.
Hey. I'm gonna record some videos tomorrow. Not today because I'm taking my computer and it get dusted out, cleaned out because it's a little dirty. But after tomorrow, I'm going to think about recording some more videos for my
Nice.
channel.
Whoop, whoop. Record some videos. Now let's get to Dark Master.
Oh, yo, Dark Master Gaming here. I'm finally at that 1,000 subs. That's why the hell is Pawpaw.
Whoop, whoop.
Right after this, I'm probably gonna do a Magic the Gathering Arena stream, ranked, like I always do.
Nice.
The werewolves until they run out. And then later on, I will be doing a Fortnite Lego stream with the
Cool.
Sun and Archer Gaming.
Nice, nice. Sounds good. Now to Bolt.
Hey,
Oh,
the best way to approach me at the game store is with a stack of cash and beg me to play with you. That's the best way to approach me.
Or come go up to him with your fist ball.
Or hit me in the back of the head and take my cards, whatever. You can find me on Instagram. That's the best place to keep up with me on a regular basis. I'm narrowing in on 500 subs myself on YouTube. So please go there. I also want to give a shout out to Hey Mana Gaming. They're at only about 24 subs on YouTube, but you want to check them out. And check them out on Instagram also. Check out Hey Mana.
Whoop, whoop. Nice. Hey, Mana. I think I did something. I could be wrong. Maybe I need. Oh, I probably didn't create the thing. I tried. I'll have to create one. Hey, TC Dude, I noticed you shared this.
Yes, to make life easier for my brain. Oh man. So I'm just another magic homie out here on the internet chronically trying to get my rocks off with cardboard, y'all. So you can catch me Mondays and Fridays in the morning here on In the Shell.
Mhm.
And Monday evenings with the DJ Longhair crew playing Diablo 2. And then basically me just doing whatever game stream on Friday. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that'd be helpful because more followers is always awesome. And then I have the QR code for my TCG player store, which I will be adding more singles to throughout the weekend.
Woo woo. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now it's super fast. Tortoise's turn to shill. Shill. That's right. It's my birthday. Yeah. See, look at my shirt. Says it's my birthday. Okay. So big news. Next week. Yes, next week. Next week on the 21st, we're going to be having a fundraiser auction for Magic the Gathering cards. February 21st. Yes, at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on my channel. We're going to be using PayPal and Discord. Yesterday's video, we went through a lot of the cards we're going to be auctioning off, and I'm going to be getting some more cards in, hopefully by Tuesday, for the auction that will be going in. So I'll keep you guys updated. But cards you can get, like Shielded Apocalypse, or the Saga, Ragavan. There's going to be 4 Lotus Petals. You got an Esper Sentinel and Chrome Mox all in this mix. So there's going to be fun times, good times. This fundraiser is going to be to raise for giveaway merchandise like playmats and card sleeves that we can give away. People in the auction who are attending the auction, who are actually bidding for cards, seriously, will be entered to win some sweet prizes. That each $100 marks, like if we make $100, we'll give away something to the people in the auction. $200, we'll give away something away to people attending the auction in the auction. $300, oh man, a full pack of Japanese War of the Spark cards. And even the green X cards in there. I can't think of the name right now. The finale of Devastation is in there, right? And like if we make $500, we're giving away from the Vault Angels. Pretty solid, pretty awesome. So come check us out. Come support the channel. Come be amazing here at Superfast Tortoise. Whoop whoop. Yeah. So as we're wrapping things up, any last words?
Nope.
Well,
Goober.
Goober.
God.
All right.
Those
That
Goober
sounds
rocks.
good. Well, I want to say, everybody, thank you, everybody in chat, for being amazing. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for being here. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Oh, and the auctions for U.S. residents, I have to do that. Like Alaska, Hawaii are U.S. residents. I know it costs more to go to Hawaii, but they are U.S. residents. I'm willing to pay the difference. But keep it in the U.S. only. But anyways, we want to thank you all for showing up. Sorry, we went in overtime a little, but you guys are awesome for chilling out. Hope you guys have a good day in chat. Thank you for being amazing, interactive. Want to thank Hillbilly, Booginfool, TC Dude, to Balls Apprentice, and Dark Master Gaming for showing up for today's stream. You made it epic. And always, 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 if I can find it, listen to Megatron. Boop, boop.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron. Cybertron shall